Hi guys. If you guys hear any sound in the background, ignore it. Um, and this is gonna be a Chongling X female listener. Let's get on to it. You started out into the mountains ahead of you. Sitting on the fresh green grass, you were resting on the road from your long journey to your village. You sighed out. I miss home. I miss my friends. It was just an afternoon, and you knew that your track back home was about to continue. Listener, your parents called out as they gathered up all the trade supplies you got in the village of Mondstadt. You got up from your grassy hill and dusted yourself off before racing down the mountains. Coming, you yelled out. You smiled, beaming at your parents, hiding how tired you felt. We need to get going. If we wanted to be home before sunset. You smiled. Got it, you replied. Grabbing your backpack, you and your family ah, started down the road to your quiet little village. You walked in a trail of thoughts in your mind. All your life you had to be tough enough to precipitate, sorry, I can't pronounce that, in the family business of trading. That means no having fun unless you got up at 2 in the morning to do all of your chores. And if you were lucky enough to have any business trips to other villages. It seemed as hours has gone past. You walked in silence with your giant backpack on your back, holding everything you were bringing back to your village. Listener, you were awoken from your thoughts with someone shaking your shoulder. Huh? You replied. It was your parents' business partner. He was a very nice guy, and sorry, he was with he was friends with your family. Family was you and your parents. We're here, listener. We're back home. At those words, you jointed up in happiness. Your smile grew bigger as you looked out to see your village across a small plain. Mom, Dad, can I go see Zhongli? Please, please, please. You beg with your hands clasped together in hopes of yet a yes. Fine, you earn it. Leave your stuff here. Without hesitation, you dropped your bag, ran into your parents, and hugged them. Thank you, thank you. You smiled, jumping up and down as you rushed the trail and onto the gates of your village. Hello, listener. Good to see you back. Hope you brought some dandelions with you. As you raced down the village road, you heard muffling hellos and welcome back. But you could only focus on one thing, finding Chongling. You raced into his family's house and stopped to catch your breath. Hello, listener, looking for Chongling? Chongling's mother asked as she smiled and offered some water. He's in the mountains again. You know him? Obsessed with his rocks. Just great, you thought out. Of all the days he went up to go look at it, whatever it has to be, the day you return. Home exhausted and just ready to sit down inside. Okay, thank you. You said your goodbyes before running out of the house and hurried to the mountains. You and Shangling were always located. At the end of the climb, your breath was very heavy as you huffed and puffed from the exhausting run up here. You looked up at the stars, skies, and it was getting dark now, and you wondered how long it took you to scale the mountains. You were broke out of thought when a hug caught you off guard. Listener, you're back. Chongling misses you so much. You turn around and return his hug. He mu- he have missed you if he's being touchy. He smiled and let go as he took your hand and walked to the edge of the cliff, where you two sat down and looked up at the stars. The moon looks it's pretty when the clouds cannot be seen, Chongling said as he learned random facts about whether you two are looking at. You sighed as you looked up. You and Chongling have been friends since almost forever. Would there be a time where you two will leave each other? What if one day you two died earlier in the life and left the other alone? Sorry, my sister came in, but okay, where were we? Alright. Would Chongling still miss me, or will he move on and just live his life? Listener, are you okay? Chongling looked over at your quiet expression, and a small tear slid down your cheek. Listener, he repeated. Chongling stroked your hair and quietly whispered, I will always be here for you. You can tell me anything. Chongling, will we always be together? Was that? He paused and thought for a moment before he replied, I once heard of a ceremony of sorts that is used in the jungle village to west of ours. He got up and walked to a nearby tree where he grabbed the stones that could fit inside of his palm. He walked back to you and grabbed his small pocket knife and cut it off some of his hair. He handed you the knife and gestured it to your hair. For real, you asked him, sacrificing. Come on, it'll make you feel better. You took the knife and cut a strand of your hair and handed it to Chongling. He took the two hairs and tied them together in a braid and tied the two stones together. He then grabbed Listener's hand and they both hold the stone in their hands. May we be together for as long as the vat stands. You look at Chongling's face and smile. You picked up both stones and set them on a large rock so they would stand together for all times. I'm glad you're back, listener. You both settled down together and watched the calm moon and stars over the land of Rocky Mountain. You knew you were going to get yelled at your parents for being out this late, but you didn't care. All you cared about was being here with Chongling. Suddenly you felt dizzy. You felt like a light was striking you up. You looked at Chongling dizzy, and he seemed to be having the same reaction. You clenched his hands harder as you felt you were being sucked into a weird place. And just like that, you and Chongling both blacked out. You woke up in a dress all white. You were laying in what seems like a sea of clouds. You looked at your hand and then noticed your hair color became white with stripes of purple running through it. You saw Xiangling sitting up next to you, holding his hand that now has horns on it. His hair now had amber stripes at his tips, and he also was dressed in white but with golden rock arms instead of his normal mortal flesh. You looked at each other shocked, and nothing but a small mumble came out of your mouth. A light was intimidating in the area, and a voice came out of saying it in a elegant tone. Do not be afraid, former mortals, for I am Celestia, and I have descended into this world to make those who are worth my archons, and you too have been chosen for this responsibility. From now on, whenever you are referred to as an archon, you will use the name of Celestia points to Zhongli, Rex Lapis, or Morax God of Geo and Contracts. Celestia turned to listener and spoke. I can't pronounce that, but it's God of the Galaxy, Academian and Wishes. You will await my instructions so you may claim your nations. And with that, Celestia left, leaving you and Chongling, well, Morax now. Listener, he said as he walked over, he clapped his hands around yours and smiled lightly. Our wishes have been fulfilled. We are gods now. We will forever be together. And that's it. I think there's a part two to this. Is the name of it is Stars and Stones. Um, it's from this one person. I texted them and told them if I can like read out their story. Um, she's in this. It's kind of like how do I say it? Wattpad, but it's like cultivate, something like that. And their name is Nahida. So please, I give a huge shout out. Or sorry, I can't. But yeah, I'm giving her a huge shout out. And yeah, sorry if I stuttered a lot today. But yeah.